sometimes I redo my videos, and I'm redoing this one, so if you've seen this in the past, that's fine. Far field approximation to the electric field due to a dipole. Now, what I'm going to do is to do the electric field on the axis of the dipole, like this, not this way, not generically. And then I'm going to do it numerically so we can see how close the approximation is to the real thing. Let's go. Well, I should say dipoles are pretty important because a dipole has a positive and a negative charge plus or minus q separated by some distance s. But the whole thing has a zero net charge, but it still makes an electric field. That's why it's cool. Okay. So we got a lot of work to do. We better just get started. Let's do it. So I have right here a positive charge, a negative charge, separated by distance s. Let's just take a little side here, okay? How do I calculate the electric field due to a single point charge? And let's just do this in a very generic way. Suppose I have some charge right here, and it's located at some location RQ. That's the vector location of my charge. Now I want to find the electric field over here at some observation location. You know, this is important because yes, you can say, well, I just need that R, which works very well if the charge is at the origin, but we don't have the charges at the origin here. So I need to find this vector right here, R. So R is from the charge to the observation location. And we can just see that R is going to be RO minus RQ. It's final minus initial. Now we can find the electric field due to that point charge. So the electric field is going to be E 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over the magnitude of R squared. Now we also have to include a unit vector R hat. Remember, this is a vector in the direction of R, but it has a magnitude of 1. And so that's what makes this whole thing a vector again. And I'll tell you why we need that. In general, R hat is going to be the vector R divided by the magnitude of R. Don't worry, we're not going to need to do all that, okay? But I want you to know where it comes from. Now, why do we care? Why do we need it as a vector? Suppose I have a second charge, let's put it over here. It's going to also make an electric field at that point. So the total electric field is the sum of the electric fields as vectors. Okay. So, and this is a constant. That's fine. So let's use that over here. It's going to be a lot easier because we're only dealing with this in the x direction. But here you can see that my observation, let's just go ahead and write these things down as vectors, just to be thorough, because this will help later. So I'm going to say R plus is the vector location of this charge right here. So that's going to be equal to this distance on the x-axis. I'm going to write that as the vector s over 2, 0, 0. And like I said, you could do this in a much simpler way. But I think if you do this in a formal way, it kind of helps build up the process of how you do this, even if you were going to do this as an integral or something like that. So it does become very important. I'm going to write R observation as R 0, 0. I know that's weird, but I did call that R right there. So that's the scalar value of R. Now I need this. I'll call it R1. R1 is this vector. So R1 is going to be RO minus R plus. So that's going to be equal to R minus S over 2, 0, 0. It's easy to find the magnitude of that vector because it's just in the x direction. It's easy to find the unit vector for that vector. It's just in the x direction. Okay, but I did it the formal way. Now let's do the same thing for the minus. R minus. Let's just go ahead and write down the electric field due to the positive one. E plus is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over R1 squared. I have to find the magnitude of that. But the magnitude of this vector is just R minus S over 2 because the other components are 0. It's pretty easy. So I can just write this as R minus S over 2 quantity squared. Now I need to multiply by a unit vector in this direction, which is just going to be 1, 0, 0. Yep, okay. Now let's do the same thing for R minus. The only thing different is I have R minus is going to be the vector negative S over 2, 0, 0, right, because it's over here. And I'm going to find R2, that's the vector from here to there. and that's going to be equal to r plus s over 2, 0, 0. Now, if I find E minus, it's not too hard. It's going to be 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. The charge is negative q. Now I have r plus s over 2 quantity squared. And then I have the vector 1, 0, 0. That's still the unit vector, right? So this, with that, gives us in the negative direction, which we knew. Okay, so now I can add these two vectors together to get the total. And so I'm going to switch over to the x direction because that's all that matters, right? So I have this in the x direction for the positive, this in the x direction for the negative, and it does have a negative sign there. So let's just write this down. And I can remember it, okay? So Ex is going to be 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q. I'm going to factor out the q. Now for the positive one, I had 1 over r minus s over 2 quantity squared. And then for the negative, I had a negative sign in front of that. I have negative 1 over r plus s over 2 quantity squared. Now, this is actually important because this is the exact solution. I've made no far field approximations. There's no approximations, right? I didn't do anything like that. We will do an approximation, but first, let's get a common denominator between these two. So I'm going to write this as 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught q. And so this I have r minus s over 2 squared, r plus s over 2 squared. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by r plus s over 2 squared, r plus s over 2 squared. So on the top, I'm going to get r plus s over 2 quantity squared. And then over here, I'm going to multiply this by r minus s over 2 squared. So I have minus r minus s over 2 quantity squared. And then on the bottom, I have the common denominator of r minus s over 2 squared times r plus s over 2 squared. Again, no approximations. Let's multiply this out. So q 4 pi epsilon naught. I'm going to get, if I multiply this out, I get r squared. And then I get r times s over 2 plus s over 2 times r. So that's going to be 2. That's going to be rs. Right, because it's r s over 2 times 2. The 2's cancel. And then I get that squared, so plus s squared over 4. Now for this term, I'm gonna keep this in parentheses so I have the minus sign. So I have minus, and then I have r squared, and then I have minus rs, and then I have plus s squared over 4. All of that over, did I get that? Oh, I made it, okay. R minus s over 2 squared, r plus s over 2 squared. Now we do get some things that cancel. So here I have an r squared, here I have a negative r squared. Here I have rs, here I have a negative rs, that doesn't cancel. Here I have s squared over 4, here I have a negative s squared over 4. So I get Ex is q over 4 pi epsilon naught 2rs over r squared minus s over 2 squared r plus s over 2 squared. Now, let's assume that r is much greater than s. So if r is much greater than s, here I'm adding a little bit of s and squaring it, and then I'm subtracting a little bit, and then I'm adding a little bit, but I'm squaring those and multiplying them together. So this s term is really, really small in here. So we can just assume this is just going to be r, and that's just going to be r. So now I get 2q sr over 4 pi epsilon naught r squared, r to the 4th. Well, one of those cancels, and I get 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught 2 QS over R cubed. And that is the magnitude of the far field approximation due to a dipole. And we call P, the dipole moment, QS. Okay, it's really a vector, but just don't worry about that. So that's our approximation. And this, either one of these, let's just use this one. There was no approximation there. So that's my real answer for the electric field in the x direction, and that's my approximation. I want to now plot these and see how they converge or disverge. Is disverge, what's the opposite of converge? Diverge is the answer. Okay. So I'm going to go into Python and do this. I need some values. So let's do a little trick here. I'm going to say 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught is k, and let's just set that equal to 1. We don't really care. And then I'm going to do q is equal to 1 coulomb. Doesn't matter. I am going to pick s as 0.01, and then I can increase my values from x from 0.02. I don't want to go inside the dipole. I don't want to go here, right? Because then I'll have r is equal to 0, and this is going to blow up. So I'm going to start outside of it. I'll start at 0.03 or something up to whatever value you want. So we're not going to make a picture. I'm just going to graph this. So let's jump over to VPython and graph it. I do have a comment. In case you haven't been paying attention, I'm using, this is webvpython glowscript.org. There's some issue, Trinket, transition, so I'm not using Trinket right now. Trinket is still there. Don't worry, I'm going to take care of all my stuff before I have to, but it's the same thing. It's fine. Okay. I don't know why I like Trinket better, but I do. So I want to make a graph. G1 is graph. Title is going to be let's call this far field approx. What was that Star Trek mission to far point? That's what I always think about. Okay, X title is going to be equal to X. I won't put the units on there. Y title is going to be equal to EX. And let's give it a width of 400, height 200. Okay, you can't see that. Don't worry, no big deal. Now I'm going to have two graphs. So the first I'm going to call this FF for far field approximation. It's a G curve. Color is color dot blue, and this is shaking a little bit. Okay, and then let's put label. Is it shaking when I type? I can fix this later. Label is going to be equal to far field. That's good. And then FE is the exact G curve, color dot red, label equal exact. Okay, now we're ready. Q equals 1, K equals 1, S equals 0.01. Is that what I said? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say X is where I'm starting. I'm going in the X direction, so I'm going to call it X. Let's call this R. R. Let's call this R. R. So R is, let's say, 0.04. I want to start outside there. DR is how big of a step I'm going to take. Let's say that's 0.05. I'm just picking something I don't really know. While R is less than, how far do I want to go? Let's go up to 1. Let's just see what happens. 1. So now what I want to do is to first calculate E exact. I'll call this EE, and it's going to be equal to K times, now I have this equation up here. It's K times Q times 2RS divided by R minus S over 2 squared times R plus S over 2 squared, close parenthesis. I think I got that. Now for the approximate value, E, or I'll call it E far field, EF. It's going to be K times 2 times Q times S divided by R cubed. Now I'm going to plot both of those. So FF dot plot is going to be R, EF FE dot plot R E E. And now I need to increase my value of R. R equals R plus dr. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so we went too far and we started too close. So let's move over here to, let's say, 0.2. Let's just start this at 0.2. Still, let's go to, I'm not seeing a difference between those two. Point 0.1, let's try 0.1. Let's go to 0.5. Still no difference. So let's go from let's go from 0.1, no, to 0.2, 0.2, to 0.4, from 0.05. Still not seeing a difference. 0.3, 0.1. Oops. I deleted something. Oh, I see what did it up here. So I'm at 0.1. There you go. Okay. So you can kind of see the difference right there. Let's just go up to 0.05. So let's go to 0.05, and let's put this at 0.001. Okay, there you go. So here you can see the far field approximation. As it's lower, but they do agree. Even as close as right here, 0.02, they pretty much agree. Okay, so pretty much in agreement. So that's good. The end. I like it. Okay, so one last point. If you want to find the electric field perpendicular to the axis, it's the same idea, but you do have to use vectors. Just letting you know, that's that. Talk to you later. Bye.